recording. Hello, everyone, dear listeners. This is episode 5 of the Creative Spirits, season 2, Be Living in Yourself. And today, as always, we have got a fantastic episode. I can say that because, you know, this was pure spirit aligned. We were just having a little tiny chat, and tell us the card you pulled, which is basically exactly what we thought we were going to talk about anyway. And it was just like,
It's incredible. Hi, everyone, and thanks for being here. So Sherry and I had a pre-chat, and we're like, okay, I really think we'll talk about this first. And we were like, yeah, we'll pull a card. We'll pull a card. And the card we got was acceptance, which is exactly what we were saying we were going to talk about, especially a message for the mamas out there. And actually, no, all women, of course, but especially for anyone who's putting way too many expectations on themselves, that thinks they should be something, that thinks they need to be more than what they are. And the fact that we were talking about this, Sherry will get into the specifics in a moment, and we pulled the acceptance card, which is like, be kind to yourself, look in the mirror and love and adore and appreciate and admire all things you, because you are perfect. And this is what season 2 is all about: believing, living in you, being able to fully step into, embrace, love, celebrate all things you. And Sherry and I are here to tell you that we believe in us and we believe in you, and you can believe in you too. So Sherry, tell us about the share.
And what really started this.
Yes.
Yes, the Facebook share. So the other day, which is now about 2 weeks, they're about 2 weeks behind. I was on Facebook with a friend, and I saw that he posted this really wonderful post, which was all about just different aspects of motherhood. And one was like ideal motherhood, and the other one was more like the reality of motherhood. But, you know, everything that we always strive for. So one was like, mama, you're breastfeeding. Congratulations. There's nothing better for your baby than that. You're a good mama. But the next one was, mama, you're formula feeding. Isn't science wonderful that before maybe you couldn't have fed your baby, you'd have to give it to someone else, and now you get to feed your baby because of the wonders of science. Good on you, mama, you're doing great. And another one was like, every day for a week, good on you, because I'm sure the kids are really happy and you're super stressed out and you're feeding them, and that's the main thing. You know, you do what you need to do. You're a good mama. And the other one was, wow, mama, you're doing organic food every single day. You know, all the work that takes. Good on you, mama. Like, it basically went way through, like, every single one, right down to the kids going crazy in the temper tantrum in the supermarket. And it was like, you know, yeah, it's really hard. You know, they always do it in the most embarrassing places. We know, we got your back, mama. You're a good mama. And the other one was like, your kid is being so good at the restaurant. Amazing what you've done to get kids to behave at a restaurant. Like, basically, it did not matter what you were doing. It was, we see you. We accept you. We know you are doing your best in this situation. And just because you're the kid with this temper tantrum in the cereal aisle today doesn't mean tomorrow you're not the kid sitting perfectly polite, crunching down on his carrots the next day. Because that's just what it is. It's accepting where you are at this moment, not judging yourself, and being kind to yourself, but also being kind to that mama who is having the meltdown kid. And instead of looking at them with judgment and going, my kid would never do that. Bullshit. Bullshit right now.
Full bullshit.
You know, like,
yes. Call it, Cherry.
You know, oh, man, I can't even tell you how many mamas I know who have the perfect life on Instagram when the kids go out, and they are losing it as soon as they close the door. Because this whole quest for perfection is causing so many cracks to open up beneath the surface. And then instead of being kind to themselves, they attack the cracks. They're like, no, you don't have this. You don't have this. You need to pull yourself together. And you're just sitting there going, you don't need to do anything. You need to show up and accept. And then, of course, they're attacking other mamas because it's a mirror. You know, anyone who's attacking you, you really got to say that you're doing something that they wish they could do or they want to do, and they refuse to let themselves do it. And that's bringing up a lot of bile into their stomach, you know, because they're probably cracking apart on the inside, keeping their kids together, instead of looking at you and going, I wish I could just let that fall apart. You know, you fall apart on the inside or the outside, but the falling apart is happening. Accept it. It's okay. You know, like, and that is part of being human.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And it's perfectly timed. I was just talking about this with a mama friend today, like how safe it is for you to change the channel of this negative thought pattern, the negative dialogue that comes from us mothers in particular. This episode is very much dedicated to mothers. Let's just embrace it. But us being told or made to feel by these, these other people, these external factors, that we're not good enough, or that when compared to that other person, and sometimes I'm killing it. Today when I went to see that particular beautiful mama bestie, I had a fruit and hummus and a cracker platter, and I took the lid off and it had all the things, the colors of the rainbows. I was like winning at life. Do you know, but that same friend, those same kids, different day, different circumstances, I've rocked up with a packet of chips, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
So, sometimes I'm like, here's some stale rice crackers. It doesn't matter. Then you have the winning days, and then you realize every day's winning. Every day's winning. And cool, celebrate that, yay, I had the rainbow wheel of yummy, all the things this week. And, hopefully I'll have that again next week. That's okay to want to aim for that. But it comes out of pure exception and taking the expectation of yourself down a few million notches. Sure, I would have loved to have accomplished that when Eden was 1 and Lucy a newborn, but I couldn't and I didn't, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, beautiful souls. All that matters is that I kept my head up amongst the chaos, and I kept my babies alive, because those stages, those seasons are hard. And the fact that you guys are managing to press play on a podcast, no matter what season you're in, children, no children, pre-children, post-children, the fact that you're doing something for you right now, and you're not letting that comparison thief come in and kill your vibe and, put you in a place where, your channel is just constant, not good enough, not good enough, not good enough, because that's not fair on you, and it's not fair on your babies either.
Well, this is just it. I often think to myself, sometimes when I start beating myself up, I go, wait, if this was my daughter or my son telling themselves this, what would I do? Would I be like, yeah, you're right? Or would I be like, no, take them in a giant hug and be like, you're looking at this so cruelly. Why are you being so mean to yourself? Stop doing it. And then I think to myself, if I want them to treat themselves with love and respect, I need to treat myself with love and respect.
Absolutely.
And that's where the difficulty sometimes comes in, because it's very easy to be like, nope, shove it down. No. I can stand up. I'm the mom. I'll put them first no matter what. I'll put everybody first no matter what. And just the voice in the back of your head going, whatever it's telling you that day. And it's very easy to listen to that and be like, no, this is me being strong. But again, this is ego sneaking in. This is ego sneaking in, keeping you small, because it knows small. It likes small. You know what I mean? This is, it can get, and I think this is where I often got confused. When I first started my spiritual quest, for me, ego was always about being too much. You know what I mean? People with ego, my ego, I didn't have an ego. I mean, I didn't push myself to be too much. I didn't let myself, shine too bright. And then I realized when I started this quest and started looking into it and started reading self-help books and going deep and journaling more instead of just staying on the surface, I realized that no, this was my ego feeding itself, being small, in that's how it grew. It made itself into a martyr. So, and then as a martyr, you can look at other people and be like, oh, don't they think they're such and such and and then it just feeds itself more. It's like a cyclone of negative and venom.
Change the channel.
Exactly. And it doesn't want you to change the channel, though. That's just it. That's where the ego's coming in. And that's why you have to realize that just because it's telling you shitty things, it doesn't mean it's not a strong ego. It's just an ego that's feeding on pain.
Yes. And that's where the martyr things comes in too. It's like, oh, no, I couldn't possibly do that. Oh, no. And that's still ego sabotage, keeping you small. And it's interesting because a part of, as you know, Sherry, and most of our listeners would know too, a part of my rising has been like the big breakup, especially my writing and the creative part of myself has been the big breakup with ego. But just recently, and there's going to be a blog on this, it may already be out by the time this is published, but how important it is to, you know, we're humans, so ego is within us, but use the energy of ego to be your own cheerleader. So just like Sherry at the start was like, if you're doing that, yay. If you're doing that, yay. If you're doing that, yay. If we can channel that, no, don't you keep me small, ego. No, I've got this. I'm enlightened. I'm awakened. I'm my own cheerleader, and it's safe to be my own cheerleader. And then it's safe to call out and reach out to friends and have support networks and have all these other cheerleaders around us, support spiritually, physically, whatever you need through your family, even your kiddies. But number one, the first cheerleader you need, beautiful souls, is you. Change that channel, be your own cheerleader. Like, you know, every morning if you have to spell out the letters of your name, do a happy dance, roll in the mud. I don't care what you need to do, but we all need to, yay, Kate, you got this, you did this, keep going, beauty. I'm proud of you. And I actually think it's the secret to all of our success, accepting where we are. Here's the acceptance card right now, and being kind to ourselves, because law of attraction too, when you can do that for yourself and you can be your own cheerleader, you can give to others just as much as well. You can cheer those other mamas on. You can help that mama who looks absolutely lost at the shopping center, in the library, wherever, because you are caring for yourself. You can give back. And it does start with that breakup with ego, changing that channel and going, I choose cheerleader. I choose cheerleader.
Well, I mean, and I think this is also why affirmations work so great, you know, because at first I really fought affirmations. But again, you know, my ego was in a really dark place and it was spewing bile, and it kind of probably knew right from the beginning that no way, that's going to kill me. We are not going down that path. But, you know, and I was like, you know, so if you're not ready to kind of dance and be like, yay, just sit down and write, I am enough. I am enough. Quietly, silently, just I am enough, and start your day, you know, or pull a card and say, okay, this is my cheerleader card for today. Like I'm at a point where I can't even give myself anything. Pull a card. That's my affirmation and my cheerleading for today. You know, like to really start small, because it's okay. The small steps lead to the big steps. Wherever you are, whatever you can do. If you can't do this, okay, what's one beneath it? Okay, no, one beneath it, one beneath it. All right, I will just silently sit here and drink my tea and think nothing. Okay, you know, and move on to the next step again. Okay, now I'm going to do affirmations, or I'm going to do a card. And then eventually you will get to the point that you're like, I can do this. You know, you do your happy dance, or something will happen and knock you back to beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep.
And, you know, all of a sudden you're like, wait, no, I can't do this. And no, you can do this. This is just life. It's cycles.
And
you know?
Remembering, like, we actually can never go back. We can only move forward. So, you know.
Exactly.
You think it's another trick. It's another trick. Oh, I've gone back. I'm back where I started. No, never. Impossible to go back where we started. Ego tricking us.
Exactly.
And that's such a good idea. I felt like I had a bit of a vision, like just writing it like in the shower, in the condensation, I am enough, or I love me, and then rubbing it out if you need to. If it can't stay there, then every day, so you can write it there until it stays there. And of course, this sort of goes hand in hand with self-care and love for self as well, your physical self as well. I remember a friend, I was like, choose one thing to love about yourself. And she started with her brain. She couldn't physically go my smile, my shoulders, my legs, my arms. So she said, I love my brain. You know, so yes, that really reminded me, I know, what a beautiful part of you to love. And that, so we start small, Sherry, just reminds me of that moment quite a few years back now where I was like, there's something you can love about yourself. And she found like one of the most important parts of herself to stem her self-love journey, self-acceptance journey. And this is what it's all about, because when we are filling our cups, when our cup is overflowing with love for self, time for self, and I know it's not easy, beautiful souls, and it's like, how am I meant to find that balance? But hopefully just podcast by podcast, we're supporting you in that journey. And it does just come back to starting with, I am enough, I love me, this is enough, and not comparing, not letting other people tell you that you're not good enough, because you are.
And that
you're
includes
so good.
Yourself.
Yes. And I'm actually feeling, I'm feeling energetically massive message from Spirit right now. Like, I'm actually feeling the doubts of other souls. And like, this isn't even, we're not live, you know, we're recording this. I'm feeling it like, that's okay for you. If you're that person saying, well, that's okay for you, you guys are confident. Oh gosh, oh no, there's been such dark times for us, and it's had to start with just that one thing. We've just had to start. We've had to just change that channel in a subtle way. So definitely,
and it's quite difficult.
Yes, definitely just making that choice.
And the small steps, which are the easiest to do, are also the hardest, because you tell yourself they're so small that they don't make a difference. But the only way to start is by making those small steps. And then your brain convinces you that it's so small it's not worth doing, so you don't do it, and then you never change channel, because you need to actually work up and do small things. I think we forget sometimes how much energy it takes to kind of reach. I mean, really think about it. You know, your whole body is working together. You know, you lift up and you reach and you click. That alone is a miracle. And there's lots of people on this planet who can't do that, who can't lift their hands, who can't actually reach over and click. So we can think of the same thing as energetically. We just cannot energetically lift our hands to switch the channel. But then you practice. Think of those little things like the affirmations and the checking in and the self-doubt being, oh, you know, like Elizabeth Gilbert talks about, hello, fear, you're here. You know, please take a back seat. You're allowed to come along for the ride, but you're not allowed to drive. You know?
Yep. Absolutely. And you know what? Actually, my mama voice just clicked in, because I've got a little one in the background yelling at mum, and I'm like, there you go. It doesn't always flow, and that's okay. I'm like, absolutely. Where was I? But I think that's the perfect,
exactly.
that's the perfect thing. Like,
yes,
cool. Whoops, that's right. Still a mum. That's okay.
Yes.
Here we are. We're still in it. We're still here, supporting each other amongst it, doing it anyway, moving forward, and just remembering to love us first. Totally and utterly loving us first.
Yeah, and that's definitely the first step. And the hardest, you know, because it's so much easier to just, and I think this is something that's going to be the next podcast, but, you know, just this whole shift and everything else. It's a scary shift. It's a scary shift, because, again, your brain will kill you trying to keep you safe. It knows this pain. And maybe on the other side of it, there's something better. But in order to get to something better, you need to actually accept why you have this pain. Look at your life. Think about what needs to change, and then go through that dark. You got to go darker before you get out. And I think that's what your brain's afraid of. It knows there's light on the other side, but it also knows change involves pain. You know, it's like the butterfly dissolving. We talked about this in our last podcast. Just when they thought, you know, life was over, boom, they bursted out a butterfly. But you need to dissolve first. And that's our brain protecting us. Our brain saying, yes, this place sucks, but if we want to change it, it's going to hurt more. It's going to hurt more. You've got to do dirty work. And yes, on the other side might be shiny, but there's a lot of mud and muck and crap you need to go through to get to the shiny place. And so I'm protecting you by keeping you here. You know? But it's not. It's killing you. It's killing you slowly.
And because then you've got Creative Spirit podcast going, you've actually got this, and we encourage cheerleaders even in the teeniest, tiniest ways. Yeah. Absolutely. Change the channel, beautiful souls, because this is your time, and ego will really try to keep you small. How funny, I was thinking today, we'll talk about ego. I'm like, oh, we don't need to dedicate a whole podcast. It comes up all the time. Every podcast, checking in with ego. I thought maybe I could read the card. This is from the Little Sage deck, Helen Jacobs deck. And I think it's going to be the perfect wrap up for our acceptance, believing in you session, where, you know what, there's no right, there's no wrong. Don't let anyone tell you any different than what you're doing right now is absolutely okay. And you are moving out of the dark and moving towards this creative light, this spiritual light. Or actually, maybe you're not. Maybe you're feeling good where you are, and that's freaking awesome. So awesome. The most awesome. Also, side note, my husband is with my child who was calling out mummy, just so in case anyone's like, did she go to her child? No, I didn't. That's why they have a daddy. So acceptance, yay for dads. Accept yourself, others, and the situation just as it is without trying to change it. Look at yourself with loving eyes, be kind to yourself, and recognize all you have to offer. Love, honor, and accept yourself just as you are. You have a reason for being here. You are perfect in the eyes of the universe, just the way you are. Share this perfection with all those you meet. Accept those just as they are, where they are. You may not understand their path or purpose. Do not dwell on past hurts and disappointments. The past doesn't hold any power over you. Instead, recognize the wonderful opportunity it presents to emerge a stronger, more beautiful, loving being. Emerge. True acceptance means acknowledging you're exactly where you need to be right now for growth and expansion. Acceptance does not allow room for judgment, punishment, or a wish for things to be different. All is well exactly as it is. And there's even a little affirmation. Did I mention this is Helen Jacobs' beautiful deck? I'm exactly where I need to learn, grow, and advance. I accept myself just as I am, a wonderful being. I am lovingly patient with myself and others as I grow.
Love it.
And such a divine message. Even Sherry and I, this is how much spirit is with Sherry and I, because we were literally going, yeah, accepting. We'll talk about that thing first. Yeah, let's. And then I pulled the acceptance card. Perfect. And a beautiful, beautiful end note for this episode, I think, Sherry, don't you think? Before I get any more distracted.
I totally agree. No, that was perfect. And like I said, leads in perfectly as well to next week when we talk about what you do with this acceptance to grow. Because again, it's the stages, the beginning is just accepting. Then you need to do something with that acceptance. But yes,
action.
Accepting already is a huge growth.
Ooh, and I'm feeling the resistance already. Some of you are like, yes, I want to listen. And others are like,
I know. I was like,
I'm so done with this podcast. Like, what? Taking action? That's enough's enough.
I hate it too, because I was like, wait a minute, you just got me to accept and now you want me to change? What are you people doing to me? Like, that's exactly what I felt too that time. I was like, Sherry, shut your mouth.
It's perfect. It's perfect, because to our listeners, we're actually going to be recording it back to back tonight. So this is perfect. This is going to be worth the week wait, beautiful souls. And we look forward to talking to you then and sharing this magic with you. For now, accept, embrace the flow and the shifts, and get ready, butterflies, because here comes the creative change. And now I'm singing. Go figure. I have to accept that. Love you. We'll see you all next week.
Love it.
Bye.